What's going on, guys? Welcome back to JR Garage and welcome to beautiful sunny Bozeman, Montana, where behind me we have the 2022 Ford Lightning F150. Today is our last day with the truck before we give it back to Kendall Ford here in Bozeman. They were so gracious letting us use this truck for our 1,500-mile northwestern road trip across Montana, Idaho, Washington. This trip has allowed us to see the ins and outs of the Lightning here, the good things, the bad things, what goes on behind the scenes, you know, beyond just knowing all the specs and going for a quick little review. What's it like to actually live with this truck for a week, and honestly pushing it pretty hard and seeing how it performed. If you guys missed the last two videos we posted with the Lightning, be sure to check those out. They were recently posted to the channel. You guys get to see mileage, you guys get to see what it's like to tow with it, drag race with the Lamborghini, and you'd be surprised who won that race. But this video, we were about to not film it, but we thought it was only fair because we did it for the Mach-E, we've done it with a bunch of other cars. We have to discuss the things that we dislike about the truck, hate about the truck, wish were better about the truck, however you want to say it. I think we have a list of about 15. They are in no particular order. They're just kind of going down as we wrote them down in the notes, because this is good information to know if you're considering buying a Lightning, if these are actual deal breakers for you, or if they're just dumb little nitpicking issues. Do you want to start us off in the interior?
Yeah, I feel like we are qualified to talk on this subject, having owned so many different EVs. We have our Tesla Model 3, Volkswagen ID4, Hyundai Ioniq, Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, and driven a bunch of others. Oh, we own Fisker, and
we've got a ton on order. We got the Hummer on order. We of course have the Lightning on order. We'll be taking delivery of one soon, so we absolutely love this truck. Moral of the story, so don't be concerned, don't be triggered.
Rivian on order also.
All right, Rivian. Anything else? We got them all on order. EV6 I think is on order.
Cadillac, Lyriq.
Cadillac. I mean, everyone. We do it like Pokemon, you know, you got to catch them all. So we've got a whole garage full of them. So you're right, we do have some authority to talk on this subject. What do you want to start with?
Probably the infotainment. There's a lot of important information for electric vehicles that really needs to be front and center, needs to exist. Some of these items you can't even access if you wanted to. The only charging information that it gives you once you plug in is when it will be done charging. No current amperage, current voltage. If a charger is going slower, you need to know that. And even over in settings and then charging, when you're plugged in, it will not give you any more information than this. It'll say what time you will be done charging, and that could have been disastrous for us on one of our stops. We stopped in Helena, Montana at our hotel. We plugged in the car, we got our bags, we were about to walk off, and the car didn't turn itself off. So I had to get back into it, which is another problem. With EVs, it's easy to forget when they're running and when they're not running. And so forgetting to turn them off is very, very common. The Mach-E would honk at us, so I'm glad that this car does not honk super loud and annoying. But maybe a downside is that it doesn't make any noise at all. You could leave this car on all night long. Even when you hit the lock button, it doesn't turn this car off. So anyway, that's why we had to return to the car. It said, you'll have a full charge by 9 a.m. I thought, great, that's exactly when we want to leave tomorrow morning. Perfect. But I didn't realize that it said not the next morning, but the next morning at 9 a.m. We would have gotten out there, the car would have been at like 60 miles of charge. Which is really common with electric charging stations. Sometimes they're not putting out the power that they're rated for and that they're expected to. That happens all the time and is so important with EV ownership. Tesla does it so great. As soon as you plug in, it'll pop up full screen on the screen, what kind of charge you're getting, when it'll be done, and even more details. Miles per hour, I love that. Had we saw simply miles per hour, we would have known. It would have showed like 2. That night we plugged it at the hotel rather than 22. You know, like something as simple as that. Definitely one of our biggest problems road tripping this car 1,500 miles is the lack of charging information. So that's definitely number one, and you already hit on number 2. You don't know when the car's on and off, and how a Tesla, you just leave the car and it turns itself off. We really think all EVs should be like that. We're getting more and more used to the power button. With the Mach-E, about 9 times out of 10, we'd forget to turn it off. This one's about 50%. It's still annoying. We get why it's there. Okay, a normal car, you have to turn off. It's not that big of a deal. But like with an EV, we're so used to Teslas just walking away. Beautiful. So we kind of wish it was like that. That's number 2. Number 3, speaking of putting it in park and stuff, when you put this car in park and you walk away or you're on driveway or something, when you let off the brake, it feels like a torque converter. You literally roll a foot. Whereas with the Tesla, the second you go into park,
it sets the parking brake, so you're rock solid, you stay there. But with this, you kind of feel the truck rock.
You put it in park, you come off the brake pedal and you start rolling again. You think that, oh shoot, I didn't put it in park. EVs will start to roll and it'll be totally silent, and I totally thought that I was pulling away sometimes. Just that simple torque converter, putting in the parking tang and rolling a few inches until it locks and sets. Yeah. It's a thing that other people are used to, but once you become an EV driver, it'll really throw you off.
None of our EVs are like that, so kind of a small thing, but it is definitely number 3 on the list.
Disc gear selector in general, it seems like, oh, this super cool feature. Why doesn't everybody do it like that?
Honestly, a lot of people would think this is one of the cool things about the truck, how this can fold down with a button and then you can open this to have this big workspace. And honestly, this is really nice to work on your laptop, all that.
Even though we never used it our entire 1500
Okay,
miles.
all right, we did never use it. It's not available on the base model, which is kind of weird. But anyway, number 4 thing we dislike is the whole Prindle assembly. Like, this thing is so big and bulky. All the new cars nowadays have a little knob you turn. Even the Mach-E was a tiny little knob the size of a silver dollar that you spin. Okay, kind of cool. Our Porsche Taycan, it's a little knob right here, down for drive, up for reverse, and there's a park button right below it. Simple. It takes up this much room, out of the way, behind the steering wheel. It doesn't look cluttered. But this, are you kidding me? This looks like it's straight out of like 2005. And I get it's the nostalgia thing. People want a big shifter to feel like they're in a big truck, yeehaw, but like, it just takes up room. You could have gotten rid of it, and then you would have plenty of workspace. You wouldn't even need this whole contraption, and it would really tidy up the look up here.
And then it's not even that solid anyway for being a anchor unit right there.
It is nice that it has the wireless charging, but it's a little like far down here, a little clumsy. It could have been, if you got rid of this whole assembly, it could have been a much better fit, you know, here, whatever. Charging cables would have been a little easier access. Okay, number 5, what do we got? Are we harassing the screens more? Do we talk more about this stuff?
Yeah, we have to.
Okay, number 5, navigation. We use this a ton this trip. I get it. A lot of people probably use Apple CarPlay when they buy, you know, new cars nowadays, or this new truck. They would be using Apple CarPlay. They wouldn't be using the factory navigation. But for us, the Tesla navigation is so good, and I guess it doesn't even have Apple CarPlay, but we don't use Apple CarPlay. We just don't. I don't know. We're not used to it. We don't do it. We are so used to using the onboard navigation in the Tesla Model 3, which is from 2018, and it blows this out of the water.
If the car had good enough maps, then it would be okay. We would just always use the built-in navigation, but it sucks. No city names. I don't know if this is facing north or up. It's really hard to get your bearings on stuff. And then once you have a destination plugged in, it's really annoying with zooming in and out, and you can't twist the screen, and you have to use this function.
Oh yeah, look at that, you can't even twist it.
Or yeah, when you're so far zoomed out, you can't, yeah, something.
What the heck? Tesla, you can just twist to do whatever you want. Oh yeah, and there's no satellite view?
No satellite view.
You have got to be kidding me. We're in 2022 and it doesn't even have satellite view. Taycan has it, Tesla has it.
How do you get rid of this dumb pin you just added? I don't want to go. I want to get rid of it. And the pin is...
See, now it keeps dropping pins. What the heck?
Okay, return to the car. Where to?
Look how slow it is too. Again, it's not okay that a Tesla Model 3 from 4 years ago has a far better navigation system, and the whole pinch and zoom, it's so quick to refresh, it's so quick to navigate, it's so quick to respond to your inputs. This, what was that, GPU power or something?
Yeah, just like the CPU processing. Yeah, they talk about that with Tesla, that they have the fastest hardware and they really invest some money into it, and it shows. So one thing that I do like though, when you plug in your destination, it'll first give you this zoomed out trip view that, did you plug in the right place? Are we taking you the right place? You do this to zoom out to see your whole trip. You do this to see your destination, okay? But a few things, why do they keep telling you where gas stations are?
But yeah, like look, when you zoom out, Tesla would show you all the city names, all the highways. Look how long that takes.
And there's no cities. Like,
sometimes there are, but sometimes there aren't.
It's not because there's no cities in Montana. Like, look at this intersection.
That's Three Forks right there. It doesn't even say. Like, it's just really weird. Overall, after 1,500 miles using this navigation, overall as a navigation system, if you're comparing it to all cars, like okay, like whatever, it's like a 7. But like for a 2022 model EV that's supposed to be like groundbreaking, and the rest of the car is groundbreaking, the navigation is so lackluster. But if you're an Apple CarPlay person and you use solely Apple CarPlay and you wouldn't care about this, okay, to each their own. We don't like Apple CarPlay. We have to stick with this, and it's not good, especially compared to Tesla. Ugh, this. Okay, enough of that. We've beat up these screens enough. Oh geez, number 6. I guess I have to say it. I took flack in the Mach-E video talking about the stupid volume knob. People are like, dude, I like it. It's not that bad. Honestly, I hate the knob. Look at this beautiful screen, and then all of a sudden we have this thing that was like glued onto it. Look how cheap it feels. Oh, it's so bad. So bad.
But I've also used the steering wheel volume adjustments quite a few times, as well as the cruise control, Blue Drive. All these functions have been really good on the steering wheel. 7, the antenna. It's really annoying. Again, you could call this a small thing, but honestly, it's a nearly $100,000 truck. Every modern, new, expensive car has a little antenna going in the windshield. Boom. Makes it pretty, clean. You don't need this huge thing. It stays up the whole time, so while driving, it's just like fiddling in the wind.
It must have super good reception though.
Okay, maybe Ford can argue for, you know, out west, this is actually an advantage to have it. But okay, number 8, Serius XM, kind of whack the way they lay it out. Okay, so Serius XM, cool that it comes with it. We've been listening to some Willie's Roadhouse and vibing out the last 1,500 miles. But check this out, we're on channel 61. You want to bump it to 57, say, right? So we're just gonna hit this 4 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, ready? 1, 2, where'd my button go? Okay, we now have to like go one by one. Okay, 59. Okay, we're back. Like, let's go to 50. Back here. Like, it's just weird. 57. It's just annoying. Like, I went to go, it would be so nice if this stays on the channel and then you just, you know, seek through them.
It literally alternates. You have to press that button, then you have to press this button, then you have to press that button.
When you want to get to channel like, you know, 2 TikTok hits, for starters, it takes so long to get through them.
Oh, type it.
Okay, 2, channel 2. Okay, 4 TikTok hits. Okay, there, enter. What? Remember with the Mach-E, you couldn't open the front trunk from the key fob, or there wasn't even a button in here. Remember, it was a manual release. You had to go in there, and then from there, you had to again manually release it. Check this out. With the Lightning, boom, there's a beautiful button there on the key fob and on the front. 3 ways to open the front. Thank you, Ford. You clearly listened to Mach-E. That was so annoying. We love that front trunk so much. Oh, while we're speaking of the front trunk, number 9. We got to do it. Open it up. Not sure if you guys can see the red marks on my head. Now this one is probably only an issue if you're 6'4" and 6'5" or 6 like me.
I'd say 6 foot.
Okay, yeah. If you're 6 foot or above, guess what happens? You come around here and you slam your head on this corner.
Or on this giant.
This one's even lower. Oh no, about the same height. We love the front trunk. Do not get us wrong. One of our favorite features of the Lightning. But one thing we hate about it is that it sits down a little too low. There's no way to, okay, that got it like 1 more inch, but I wish it raised about 4 inches higher, and it seems like it would be doable. I'm guessing something in the engineering doesn't allow that to happen, so here we are armchair quarterbacking this thing. I'm sure the engineers know more, but it would just save a lot of people slamming their head and getting huge bruises on their head.
Or maybe they think some people can't quite reach the button here, but I mean, you could be 1.5 foot shorter than 6'4" and still reach the button easily.
You're right. If it was 4 inches higher, the button would have to be up here.
But that's why they got 2 other key fob or in the cab.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, just hit it from the key fob. You wouldn't need it there. Interesting. I wasn't gonna bring it up. I noticed it right away. I'm like, that sits awfully low. Like, imagine somebody hits their head on this thing. Yeah, that's me. About 10 minutes prior to filming, I was coming around and I slammed my head on that thing. I'll roll the clip if I took it, but oh, that hurt so much. And then just 20 minutes prior to that, I hit my head on the right side. And then when I was loading my bags yesterday, I hit the back of my head in here. Demonstrate, Christian, here. Just No, I mean demonstrate. Hold it, I'll demonstrate. So I'm putting in all my bags, setting everything in, you know, and then I go back and boom, I slam the back of my head on this thing. So I've hit here, here, and here. My head hurts a lot, and it would have been solved if it was just 6 inches higher, but okay, up to number 10. Christian, we're on the exterior. Well, quickly, just let me finish the last 2 in the interior from back here. They have to do, one has to do with the doors. Now, this might be small, but I've honestly experienced this numerous times this trip. Number 10 is that these doors, you don't really know when they're closed. It sounds like it doesn't close. Okay, that clearly did not close, I think, but if I give it a little more weight, see, that didn't close either. See, that didn't close. It's when the window's up, Christian, the pressure inside the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that finally closed. Especially when the windows are up, which now I just figured out, you have to give them a lot of pressure. See? It's not closed. Like you gotta, there we go, that did it. So it seems like a small issue, but how many times on this road trip has the warning for the door ajar been up? 5 times we've had to, while on the highway, open and close the door.
Yeah, and then that brings up another thing. The door ajar light always shows the driver door being the one ajar instead of telling you exactly which one's ajar.
All right, and just to demonstrate the emoji, Christian, open the back right door and let's see. Here's the emoji for driver door ajar. Perfect, shows the left one. I'll close that. And then look, he's gonna open the back left. See? It still shows the front left, except it says with text, rear door.
You have 2 doors open, what does it say now?
Rear left door ajar, front ajar, and then doesn't say anything about the right. He's got the right one open as well, but it just says rear left door ajar. What the heck? Here, let's clear that. What the heck? Both doors are open, but it just says one. See, it's frustrating. Whereas if there was a nice display, it would show both of the rears open, simply solving that problem. So kind of annoying. All right, number 11, again, not a big deal for a lot of people, but for me, my pedal aesthetics are important, and these are about the ugliest pedals you could possibly put in this truck. These look like they came straight out of the dollar store. This is not good. I mean, this is the if this was the Pro base model for 46 grand, I would understand. This truck is $94,000. And you can't even give me a pedal with like a little bit of chrome accent and some nice rubber inserts or something like that. Like, actually look at this. This is beautiful brushed platinum. Super cool. Imagine if they did the pedals with a little bit of this mixed in. That would be so cool, and it would really tie in the platinum look. All right, Christian's got number 12. It's honestly a good one because many people struggled with this simple thing on the truck.
Yeah, so you go to open the front trunk, which the button's off-centered for no reason. That, okay.
See, you go to like lift it. People don't realize it's automatic. They think this is just a popper and you got to lift it like any other hood on a car. So like you just demonstrated,
yeah, there's a big delay.
It shuts down and then it like stays.
Yeah, there's a big delay. So pop. Okay, I'll lift it myself. Oh, I shouldn't have.
See, and then it kind of goes itself. We wish it was a little bit quicker, but we get that it's a whole lot of weight, so we can't complain too much. But take a look. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nearly 4 seconds of it doing nothing. So oftentimes, if you don't know any better, people will grab it, start to lift it, and then it's like, oh wait, no, don't lift me. Obviously, once you know it's automatic, you're not gonna have this issue. But if your dad or friend or somebody's borrowing the truck and they need to put something up here, they're surely just gonna go lift it up. Just know that for when you buy this truck or you give it to a friend, somebody who doesn't know any better, you just gotta tell them about that, or else the truck is not gonna be happy with you. Okay, what are we up to? Number 13? Okay, unlucky number 13 is the unlucky situation you would find yourself in if you go to buy a base model Lightning Pro. Christian, can I go to the dealership and just pick up a $39,000 Lightning right now?
So it already takes long enough to be able to get your hands on any sort of Lightning. A lot of people are probably wanting that Pro model that come in at half the price, and yet you still get all of the cool things that are an EV, but just not some of the bells and whistles.
If you're already like 2 years out on buying like a Lariat or a Platinum, I couldn't imagine how far out you'd be at on the $40,000 truck. Probably way, way, way at the back of the line. I mean, it makes sense from a business standpoint. You want to be getting your most profitable models out the door first, and then you go sell the ones that you won't be making a whole lot of money on. So ultimately, we see why Ford is doing this, but it's unfortunate. If you want the cheap Lightning, you're not gonna get it for a long time. So that's one of the things that many people do hate right now about the ordering process. Okay, number 14.
All right, number 14, a couple EV staple items. One thing, the manual door on a $94,000 truck. It would be really nice to have this be automatic like all Teslas and like our Ioniq and a few others, but our ID4 manual door, we leave it open all the time. And then our Porsche manual door, we leave it open all the time. One charge door is good, but a couple of the latest and greatest EVs have 2 charge doors. They cut out the trim for it, but it doesn't work.
It's a fake. I thought this car had 2 charge doors like our Porsche Taycan. 15 is most certainly a big deal, and it's very frustrating.
Every time you come to a stop and pull away again, is the cogging of the motors. It's like a bicycle where you pedal backwards for a second and then you pedal forward again, and you need to catch back up and lock those sprockets gears into forward momentum, and
this truck. They have not solved it. It was the same thing with the Mach-E, a Tesla, some of our other EVs. Butter smooth all the way to a stop. Butter smooth going again.
All right, the Mach-E, the one pedal driving was horribly like jerky. It had little jolts in it. It was just not smooth, not clean. Here, I feel like the one pedal driving is smoother, but you hear more of the cogging, if that makes sense. So part of it I think is better than the Mach-E, but the cogging I think is like worse than the Mach-E. You can literally hear it and feel it. And your passengers are like, yo, what?
Last note there about you just turning on the car. We were talking about how the car should turn itself off when you get out of it, but it should also turn itself on. Put your foot on the brake. Tesla would fire itself right up. A couple others would also.
Very true. Okay, let's see if we can catch some cogging on video. Oh, geez, I felt it right there already.
Yeah.
Here, we'll turn off the fan. Maybe you guys can hear it.
I don't like this climate control either.
Oh, okay, this video's 15. Look at the title. Don't you throw in a 16. We need to keep it to 15. Nice, clean numbers. I would agree it's kind of dumb. You got to hit the fan button and then like ratchet it up. It's...
Oh, also this glove box thing here, it's hard to close.
I didn't even notice that. This video is not 17, it's 15 things we hate. Cogging was our last thing. That's it, okay.
Give me another.
Listen,
give me another.
I think we can hear it if we're quiet. Listen. Right there.
Definitely.
I hope you guys can hear
You've got to
it.
be able to hear that.
You guys can certainly hear that.
I'm sure it's even louder out here. Definitely. Very loud.
Tesla is buttery smooth. All of our other EVs are buttery smooth. Ford, I don't understand why they can't get it down. It's just such a bummer because especially in parking lot situations where you're making micro adjustments in the parking space, it does it in reverse too, I'm pretty sure.
It literally feels like there's a trailer on the back, trailer hitch and just bumping the ball. A few of these companies have mastered this stuff long ago.
So you guys have it, the 15 things. Christian was trying to make it 16 or 17 things, but 15 things we dislike about the Ford Mach-E. Of course, some are bigger than others. It just depends what you're doing with the truck, what your ownership looks like. Some aren't an issue for some people and some are a really big issue. Again, we love this truck. We're literally buying one. So don't tell us, you're Tesla fanboys, get out of here. You just hate Ford, like stop it. This video is pointless. Again, we're buying one, so chill out. We love the truck overall.
I hope that this video was very informative and very helpful. I think it should be, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to compare them side by side with their competitors. Our Rivian, we traded our R1T launch edition order for an R1S launch edition because we were waiting for the Max Pack to be available on the R1T so we could also tow with it. So soon we'll have that to compare with.
Every car, truck is different. There's pros and cons to every single one. So to be fair, we wanted to mention some of the things we dislike about this. That's all. We're trying to help you all out. We're all for pro EV future.
So thank you so much again to Kendall Ford in Bozeman, Montana and Laurel, Montana Ford for the good word recommendation of us. Off to return this truck back to our Volkswagen ID4 that we will be driving all the way home to Arizona.
This thing was far superior than the ID4 for that 1,500-mile road trip. What an amazing past week with the truck. So much good content that we delivered for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the first couple videos we filmed with the truck. Go check them out if you haven't already. They'll be linked down below. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. And without further ado, we will see you guys in the next one. Take care.